Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Training at Simulator Classic, aka Rowers. Hopefully everybody had a halfway decent Thanksgiving time holiday. For those of you that celebrate it, if you don't know what to tell you. So, uh, but moving on, checking out some more stuff that I have picked up on the autumn sale because why not? I already own everything that I care to own, so I'm at the point where I'm just buying stuff to have it. And this is one of those models I didn't have, so we're going to be taking a look at it. The Norfolk Southern Dash 840C by Dovetail Games. These are $9.99 on sale. They're $20 normally. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out here. It ain't worth it. I have fiddled around with it a little bit already, and that $20 is not worth it by any means of a long shot. This model is pretty dated now. I believe it came out in like 2014. So it's been around for a minute. It doesn't look all that bad overall, but the sounds are kind of meh. Texturing's definitely meh. And for $20, you are getting one single locomotive with a driver and non-driver variant with absolutely no variation whatsoever. There are no other color schemes, no other paint jobs, no other variants of the locomotive, and the only other thing that you will get in that pack is, well, what they throw as something, oh my goodness, included are these Norfolk Southern hoppers, which are, again, nothing new. Here's the old Kuju hoppers. They've been in the game for ever. They've been here ever since the game got beat. And here's the quote-unquote news. Yeah, they're not different. You're not getting anything new. The new texture is not something. So, all you're getting for normal price of $20 is this right there. So I'll go ahead and say that right now, it's not worth it. Definitely wait for a sale if you absolutely must have this thing. But at full price, not worth it at all. History-wise, basic information on the locomotive anyway. Built between 1987 and 1992, with a total of like 580 some odd locomotives being built. Most have been retired by now, but at the time they were pretty stout locomotives, pushing out about 4,000 horsepower, with some later receiving a wide cab or a wide nose, which would widen the nose here, give us a view of a locomotive that you typically see today. Obviously, Norfolk Southern being one of the larger purchasers of these locomotives. However, other purchasers would be the Chicago Northwestern, Conrail, CSX, Estrada de Ferro Carras. I murdered that, I'm sure. And Union Pacific. Kind of curious as to why we didn't get any of those other roads. All we get is the Norfolk side for that paper. But whatever. So yeah, not much else to say to it. Obviously a freight locomotive built for heavy haulage. Again, most have been retired by now. I believe some still operate up north, if I'm not mistaken. Canada ended up with a handful of them. Not dead certain on that, but I do believe Canada ended up with a fair number of them. yeah, that's really about all there is to say to it. So let's dive into it and see what we think of it. So as is pretty typical of dovetail models, model itself actually doesn't look all that bad. It's overall pretty nice, considering how old it is. Like I said, I believe it was around 2014 that this pack came out, so it's been around the block. But overall, the model doesn't look half bad. But as I said at the beginning of the video, the texturing is awful. Back here you can see it. These lines are blurry. That horse is beyond blurry. You get up close to the locomotive and it's just painfully obvious how fuzzy all that is. Our oil slick for exhaust. Man. Blurry, blurry, blurry. And yet the number is quite crispy. So, yeah, these could seriously benefit from a retexturing. But the overall model actually doesn't look that bad. You know, the actual objects don't look half bad. It's actually got a pretty fair bit of detail too. I mean, there's a lot of kind of modeled objects. So like our window vents here, hinges are modeled. I don't know why the levers are not. Or why the hinges, yeah, I'll get the right. Why the handles are not? The handles are not 3D objects. These are all 2D, which is very noticeable. And the actual hinges themselves are 3D objects. And the panels are 3D objects, which, you know, credit where it's due. It is very nice, especially when you compare these to, say, the old SD40s, where all these panels are just 2D textures. It's very, very noticeably different. Having these panels an actual separate object, so that is nice. This wire mesh doesn't look half bad, honestly. Ugh. Noticeable red. But yeah. You know, the radiator doesn't look half bad for it being as old as it is. And the coloring is not half bad either. That's just very old texturing that's very blurry. And then, of course, the non-driver variant. No driver. So let's hop in it. And it goes pretty much silent, which is noticeable. Oh. Well, now it's completely silent. That's weird. Engines are running, but it's dead silent. Okay. Well, that's an interesting bug right off the bat. That texture is awful. You can barely read it. It's blurry. That doesn't look horrible. Overall, the rest of the texturing doesn't look half bad. We don't get those switches. Don't get those switches. course, horn. It just sounds obnoxiously weird. Hearing a horn, but no engine running. Horn obviously operates the bell. Thank God it's something different than the typical DTM bell and horn combo that we hear on every single diesel locomotive that DTM ever pushes out anymore. It's not horrible. Naturally, we'll go outside of the cab and see how it sounds in a second. Of course, we get the horn, we get the sander, we get the bell. Oh, those wipers, instrument lights, cab lights. Cab lights don't look that bad, and they're not murdering my frame rates too terribly. We don't get anything on this back panel, except for, of course, the on-off switch, startup button. There. We don't get anything else. We don't get these. We don't get any of those. We get the headlights. Can't read what any of that says. It looks like off. It looks like dim. Can't read that at all. So horrible texturing there. And then a reverse gear, which for some reason was all the way in reverse. Dynamic throttle. And that seems to be it. That's all we get. You look like a in-cab signaling. So pretty basic. I mean, we don't even get windows. We don't get doors. It's a very, very basic locomotive. There's nothing special going on with it. Let's hop outside. Oh. No headlight. Oh, there we go. So dim is the headlight. I like the color, but the flares are there. The color actually doesn't look half bad. The number boards actually look really cool. I really like the number boards, honestly. It looks like there's individual bulbs back behind there. They're just not a white light up board. And then, of course, the coloring is actually really nice. It's a proper yellow. I assume the ditch lights work with the bell? No? So that is the bell on the outside, by the way. It's not horrible, but there's a lot of background noise. Like, the recording was taken on a busy highway, kind of. A lot of background noise. Same for the horn. You know, it's not bad, but there's a lot of background noise. And I don't guess we get ditch lights. Oh, we don't get ditch lights. Huh. Oh well. Yeah, no ditch lights. Okay. Kill the brakes. No brake sound. Just popping noises. I'm so confused. Ah! There we go. Now we got ditch lights. I don't know what that was. Oh, we might get sound. I'll put us on this. Put us on a passenger track, but I don't care. Review video. We don't do things by the book around here. Okay, well, for some weird reason, we all of a sudden have sounds. It doesn't sound half bad inside the cab. Let's take it out of gear now that we're rolling. And just listen to it. Oh! Ah, how very weird. Right now we only have one ditch light on. Our RPM gauges say we should be hearing a wild rumble right now. Okay. Now we're running again. Very odd. Well, hey, and we're dead again. Take it to the first notch. We'll just leave it in the first notch, see what happens. Alright, screw it. Let's open the throttle up. All the way. And it's gone again. I have no idea what the speed limit is. 50. Yeah. That god-awful flange squeal that nobody likes. Get some distance here, see what the horn sounds like at distance, I guess. You know, I actually don't hate the distance. Oh my goodness, our brakes work really well. We're going through here way faster than we should be. Oop, wrong button. Ah. But yeah, brakes work really well. We're only at 39%. So if you've read the reviews on Steam, just about everybody talks about the poor physics. We're getting to see that in full view. Physics are indeed non-existent. But it does have this weird wind-up time. Like, they started to work on physics and didn't bother to go all the way. So it's got like a wind-up time with the throttle. And it starts to pick up speed, but you open it all the way up and it takes off like a rocket. I mean, yeah, these are empties, but should still act like, you know, there's a fair bit of weight behind them. But they really don't. And of course the issue with the engine sounds. That is a wild issue. Like, the idle sound is not half bad. When you start to give it throttle and it doesn't do anything. Here, we'll open it up to third notch. Oh! Engine sounds, they exist. Oh, hi. Hello. Engine sounds. Oh. Sounds like we lost engine sounds again. Oh, you know what? Click on our dynamics to see what happens. Put setup. We'll wind up into dynamic mode. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, the dynamics have a little bit more of a believable braking time, credit where it's due. You know, they're not coming to an immediate halt, quite like the regular brakes are. But dynamic sound is very interesting. Maybe that's a good word for it. Interesting. Oh, goodness. Go ahead and kill it. And bring it to a stop. So we're 30%. Man, look at that braking. A little bit quick. Huh. Well, there it is, fellas. The Dash 840C. I don't know what to tell you guys. That engine sound is killing it for me. It just, it's there, and then it's not, and then it's there, and then it's not. It's just, for this to have been out as long as it has been, I feel like that should have been caught a long while ago. Uh, yeah. But there it is, fellas. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah. Check it out on the Steam store if it so floats your boat. Just know that I don't edit my videos. I didn't edit that in. I didn't edit it out. So that is exactly how it is performing for me. The second time I have ever used this model. So just know this is indeed what you are getting if you pay for it. Definitely don't recommend it at full price. Even sale price is kind of a stretch. But if it floats your boat, go check it out. It is available on the Steam store right now on sale. I don't know when the autumn sale ends, but Steam does sales pretty often, so just look around for when that happens. But the Norfolk Southern Dash 840C by Dovetail Games. A solid, I don't know, 5 out of 10. Like, the model itself looks pretty good, but it ain't got anything else going for it. So, anyways, that's it. I will see you guys next time.